Hello, good evening, everyone. Well, welcome to Bloody Sunday. It's like it's like a repeat of Bloody Sunday on here today. Oh my God. Anyway, earlier was brutal. Sorry I couldn't get in the chat earlier, but I wanted to. But anyway, so today we're going to have Mike Slick. The reason is, the other day he didn't really get to say what he wanted to say. With all the carry on that went on, he didn't get out half of what he wanted to say. So this is, his opportunity to do that. And we're going to let him say his piece. And then if anyone wants to address him and he's agreeable to it, then I'll drop the link. Everyone, please be respectful. It's not going to be like a free-for-all at all. If anyone gets out of line, anyone who's a mod, if you see people just being nasty, just kick them out. Now, a legitimate question's fair enough, but don't be on here acting the fool over here. Anyway, so I'm going to bring Mike on. Hello, Mike, and Carmine, the voice of reason.
Hello.
You all hear me? Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
I'm going to switch to Avatar because I hate the aesthetic. Okay.
What's
All
up,
right.
Carmine? Hi, Josie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today? It's
I'm
been
doing
Bloody
good.
Sunday.
Yeah, Bloody Sunday. You're right.
We're back in the troubles. I'll just say hello to a few of the chat first. Let's see who we got here. XXX, how are you, my dear? Brittany, Karen S, Jane, Perry, Carol, Scottish Deborah, how are you? Heather Diane, Real Deal, how are you, Tommy? DJ, JA, how are you doing? So, all right, let's just get started. We don't want to. Oh, Carmine disappeared. I guess he'll be back. So the floor's yours, Mike. You didn't get to say what you wanted to say. Hi, Gravesend. And so the floor's all yours.
Okay. Well, I did have a lot of unfinished business from the last time I was here. Some crap going on with me, but I felt like I wanted to come back on, and Josie was nice enough to bring me on her show, and she's been really, really nice to me. I just want to say thank you in front of everybody. Josie,
you're welcome.
Really good to me.
So,
I basically, I guess I've been public enemy number one on here for a little bit. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I haven't been really paying much attention to what's been going on. I just hear little snippets here and there, but I get it. I was involved with Chicago for much more than others, but ultimately we all publicly supported him, right?
Right.
But,
well, that was my thing because I think everybody embraced him at some point or another. Some caught on quicker than others, maybe, or it wasn't that we didn't catch on; it's that we kind of just stayed around because of the common enemy. But I didn't feel you need to be the sacrificial lamb. That's all. But go ahead.
I agree. But I wasn't. We all weren't totally in the blind. There was a lot of things going on behind the scenes people don't know about. I got into a lot of shit with him over questions I had about him and stuff like that. But I'm not. Right. If anybody has questions about that, I'll answer that. But the night Chicago got doxxed, a vid came out and a lot of things were said about me, and I took offense to some of it. Yeah. To be honest, some of the shit was deserving. I get it because I was there. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I owned up to to everything. I've been 100% honest with everyone, but people singled me out as fucked up, especially when everyone on here in some sort of way was in support of Harry, right?
Right.
Some were even ride or die Chicago Muscle fans and friends, right?
Right.
Behind the scenes, right? Even so.
Yeah.
A lot of people were talking, and had this guy on their show. Some were even scared shitless of him. I mean, literally scared shitless. Some said in the chats, "I'm ride or die Chicago Muscle to the end."
Right.
Me included. So, like I said, it was a lesson learned by me. I was not too familiar with this YouTube shit, but you know, I I learned pretty quickly. But I
Right.
know I know I said this before, but for me, I'm the one put on Front Street because I'm up there with him. So I get all the shit that's going on,
Right.
and honestly, I'm okay with it. I could take it. I'm a man. I could take it. I was up
Right.
there when some doxing was going on, and some hurtful stuff was said, and I owned up to it.
Right.
But I did expect some shit to come my way, but that's how it goes. Like people say,
Yeah, of
you're
course. But
involved
I
in
mean,
docs, you expect to get docs. You harass families, you expect yours to get harassed. All that shit.
right. And not only that, I mean, in the very beginning, when I first spoke to you, you had said, because I had said to you about, maybe you need to speak up. And and I said to you, well, we could just do a recording if you didn't, want to have the live. And you said,
I
no,
felt
no,
the
no.
recording. Yeah, I didn't want a recording. I felt live would be better. It's more intimate. I don't want to feel like I'm hiding from anybody. I don't
Right.
hide. You know,
Right.
hide. That's
So Jane is asking, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Why did you not stand up for your wife and kids, family
well.
first?
I'll get to that. I'll definitely get up to that in a second. Absolutely. So,
Okay.
you know, like I said, I did
Yeah, go
expect
ahead.
some shit on my way. I apologized. I apologized to the other side. I know people may not like
Right.
that, but I felt that that was the right thing to do. I wanted to own up
Right.
regardless of what they have done. But I apologized to NB via text, and I'm going to say it here and now publicly for the last time. I'm not doing an apology tour, but I do apologize to everyone on this side, NB,
Right.
Angel, whoever else, MRE. It was in
Right.
bad taste from what I did, and I just want to move
Right.
on from that. So,
Right.
but a lot of people on here, they got the wrong perception of me. Believe me, anyone on here who has certain opinions of me, it makes no difference to me. I really don't give a fuck. But I will defend my family to the death if I have to. But apparently on here, lots of people judge you on how you handle yourself, and they make assumptions.
Right.
So I'm definitely not what's being said about me. But I don't have to prove that to anybody or anyone. But like I said, I'll defend my family to the death if I have to, 100%. But as for SoFlo, I knew he was going to show up. I knew it. I knew
Right.
he was going to ask those stupid questions, and I had a plan, and it was relative to something that went down not
Yeah.
too long ago after I was doxxed. Okay.
Right.
And I knew where it came from. I was just trying to narrow it down exactly who was my goal. And if kissing his ass and, making him talk and playing to him and see what I could get out of him was the goal. And, if I looked bad in doing it, I was just going by, I guess, instruction
Right.
from what's going on because kids are involved. Let's just put it that way. And, they're going to pay one way or another. You don't fuck with children, especially mine, bottom line. And I knew that fucker was coming on. I knew it.
Right.
And, the discussion I had with certain people behind the scenes in my family and someone else were to keep my cool, no arguments, stroke his ego, and make him talk. I needed
Right.
some info, and I got it. I got what I wanted. I'm moving forward with something, and I didn't have to go on his show this past week because I felt like I accomplished what I needed to accomplish. So
Okay.
people can believe what they want. You know,
Yeah.
it may seem that way or the other. I know what I was doing. I was flustered, definitely. I was fucking mad. I, but I kept, all right, just let him
Right.
talk. I wanted to hear what he had to say. Um,
Right.
and I wanted to be
Um,
apologetic too. You know what I mean? So
right. Well, damn it, Mandy says, my problem isn't with the muscle stuff, it's the way you let Harambe talk to you about your family.
yeah, like I said, I didn't want to get into an argument with him. I didn't want to
Right.
fight over it. I didn't
Mm.
want to because if I would have started skitzing the fuck out like I wanted to, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. He wouldn't have said what he said probably, and he did say something that I needed because I don't want to give up too much information because I'm told not to, and I'm probably not supposed to be on here tonight, but I felt like I had to be. But someone sent something to my kid exactly about something he brought up. Put it that way, and that's
Uh,
exactly what I wanted to hear. Okay.
right.
So, I got what I wanted. I don't give a fuck what anybody, people say about me. I I didn't have to go on his show because I felt like I got what I wanted, and that's it, So
Right.
I know
Well,
people are gonna have crazy opinions of me. But look, I just want to defend my kids and my wife and my family. That's it. Bottom line.
right. And, there is the burning question, and I've got to ask this. So Bobby Styles says his only question is, why did you flip flop on MRE when Harambe brought him up?
Well, when Chicago got doxxed, MRE had a lot of shit to say about me, right? What am I supposed to kiss his ass?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He called me a lot of names. He said some shit about me. At first, I didn't want to go there. I think you all seen that, right? But all I said was, look, if it smells like shit, looks like shit, it's shit. But that's just basically saying, form your own opinion. I mean, if you believe he's whatever they're saying, I guess it is. And I may have my own opinions about him, but I never expressed them on here, and I'm not, because MRE, I don't,
right.
It really means nothing to me in the grand scheme of things. I'm sure I don't mean anything to him either. So, I mean, I like him. I always liked him, and I was always supportive of him.
Right.
But apparently, after things I'm hearing, I guess not. So,
okay.
it's just fine,
Yeah, Karen S seems to be commonplace to dox family members on here. Crazy. The other side is still threatening to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you saw earlier, it went right to, I'm going to get your family, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, So, yeah, unfortunately, that's the name of the game at the moment, I guess.
Look, I'll just be very honest with people. I'm a 0 to 60 guy. Either I'm very calm, actually really oddly calm, or fucking crazy. And I don't like to get like that. And that's something I never, I don't do it. I used to do it as, when I was younger, and obviously you mature, you grow up, we have a family, I got kids to support, and I can't act like that. I can't get like that. And, I'm the sole breadwinner of my family, and I have to be around for my kids and my family, and that's it.
Right.
And if, keeping my cool, and, instead of giving people a show is what it is, then so be it. I mean, I don't know what if I didn't give people the Mob 2 fucking drama thing that they wanted, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? But I before I got cut off by Brittany and Amzy went crazy. I'm thankful for them for sticking up for you. I didn't really need it, but I really actually didn't want it. They kind of foiled things, because I was really going to start asking him about apologizing to Angel, Mala, you, Angela, Jade, Terry Time, Brittany, Sophie, family, my parents, kids, wife. I wanted to bring all that up, and I wanted to bring up, like, why do you feel doxing, abusing women, children, and families are okay? Like, he calls it investigative journalism, according to him, But in the end, you could call it shit. It's doxing. It's harassing family members. I was going to bring that up, but I didn't get a chance to, So.
Right. Well, Jane says, why the other side first? Well, I'd like to answer that one. I don't think that Deadly's on the other side. Deadly's not on a side. So I'm assuming what was your reason for that? Because they're looking at it like, I think they think, according to Deadly, he's in the middle. He's not on either side. He's just in the show.
No, true.
So, true. And in his, everyone's welcome in his chat. That side, this side, and everybody. So you must have known then that, Harambe was going to jump on there. One of them, it wasn't Harambe. It was going to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what the thing was. But you can answer that too.
I just got Deadly's offer first. I mean, I was kind of going through some things at home with what I was talking about before that kind of freed me up at the, and Deadly offered it. So I took the first opportunity, and then you came along.
Right.
I was going to reach out to NB separately because I wanted to have a conversation with her, but I didn't, because I thought if I reached out to her, she was going to tell me to go fuck myself. And I told her that. Right. I really did.
Right.
I really did, but she apparently not. And we had a conversation behind the scenes, and I hope we're good. Because I don't have a problem with her. I told her I felt terrible from what I did to her, and was said about her, and any impact it had on her, and let's just move on. I mean, And I'm done with the apologies. I really am. So.
Right. As Slide's asking, have you made arrangements for their safety and well-being? Because you did get some threatening calls, correct?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of threatening calls. You know, it's ridiculous. I don't take them seriously, really, because you know, it sounds like bullshit to me. But then again, you never know, right? So,
right,
you know,
yeah,
I am being cautious, but the ones that I got, those specific ones, I think someone's just trolling, to be honest. But you know, like you're right. People, you never know. But I'm not really taking that too seriously, to be honest with you. But
right. Karen says, Mike Slick, Harry was introduced to this community by the other chats who seemed to be okay for the longest time. Some of us just watched for the records shown. I did. I'm not sure what that means exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Maybe he was.
Yes, Heather Diane. I know MB didn't dox me. For the record, the person that doxed me did call me, and I had a conversation with them. And the other one, they told me they doxed me. How true it is, I don't know. I don't even care, to be honest with you, that I was doxed. But I did feel that she did at first. But that's pretty clear that no, she didn't. So
okay,
yeah.
All right. So Mike, MRE would like to.
Yeah, you can drop the link. Sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me do that. Okay, I dropped the link. Yeah. So if you knew what was coming, why weren't you prepared?
I wasn't
actually prepared for it myself. So I mean, I kind of had an idea one of them would come on, but you know,
I wasn't prepared because I thought I was going to go on a show on Friday. I was preparing for Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. Here's MRE. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hi, MRE. Hello.
How are you doing, Josie?
All right. How are you? That was brutal earlier, wasn't it? Good job,
Ignatius couldn't deal with facts and questions.
Oh no, it was Bloody Sunday.
He has to go to ad hominem. Bloody Sunday. Who's the A? Is that agnostic?
No, it's Carmine.
Oh, that's Carmine. Yeah, Carmine, are you there?
How you doing? Yes, how you doing, Emery?
How you doing, Carmine? Oh yeah, Mike. You know I did that video about you. As you threw me under the bus. If you don't like me, you don't have to like me, but you just sounded like a moron up there, in my opinion. I get it. You wanted to apologize to everybody. If I was you, I would have just bounced and just protected your family. And what you said, even with the NB thing, you had a feeling. You just did it because Chicago told you to say it. Did he have anything over your head? Was he like extorting you?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So what was he basically saying? Go along with what I say, or I'm going to do this?
No, he was just more like, if you bounce, because I tried to bounce a few times, and he was like, look, you're knee deep in it already. You might as well not leave. But if you do, and I see you in my enemy's chats, you're going to be my enemy, and then what's going to happen. And I was like, oh boy, and I was like, you're right, and blah blah blah. So he convinced me to stay 2 times actually. So, and yeah, he did have one specific thing over me that's not known that I really didn't want to get out.
Well, then my question is, why would you even be out? Why didn't you just disappear? Because you don't think he's going to try to hurt you or send that to somebody?
No, I didn't. Memory, I really didn't think he would hurt me. I thought me and him had a lot of conversations every day as friends, as people, not a Chicago muscle. Like, I connected with him on a different level. He wasn't this mean character to me. He was more of he was actually being a friend to me.
But you didn't realize that, like, all right, you're up there with Muscle and he's doxing people. Look, like, I don't know much about that women community, but putting all those women up, their things, you didn't think that, like, all right, this might not be a good idea, and like get away.
Of course I thought it was a bad idea. I mean, most of the time, I'd say majority of the time, I didn't even know what he was going to do. I would ask him. I'd be like, look.
Yeah, but you know what he did. You've been on his show for a week. You know what he does. So it's like, how could it be surprising? Like, another show putting people's info up. That's what I tried to tell Piggy nicely. I was like, listen, when you come on here and your whole shtick is doxing people, looking people up, or having your wife work in a law office and get people's socials, people are going to do the same back to you, and you can't cry about it.
No, I never cried about it.
I'm not saying you cried about it. I'm just saying, like Harambe crying about it, like what he was saying to you. Well, you don't feel bad what they did to my wife, and you're like, yeah, I feel bad. All this stuff
because I thought it was, people were telling me. Some people were telling me behind the scenes after all this happened that Chicago was putting out lies. There were lies, and I felt like, oh shit. You know,
yeah, but that actually wasn't a lie.
It wasn't. Yeah, now I'm finding out it wasn't a lie. Yeah, now I'm hurt. Now George told me one thing that I said I thought was a lie was actually true, and a couple other things, and now I found that after the fact. So. Look,
I didn't come up here to like shit on you or nothing. And this is Josie's thing. I'd be respectful, but I just lost a lot of respect for you, to be quite honest. And obviously, I know you don't like me, so don't act like you do. At least have some integrity. That's all.
Like I like you, Murray. I never said that. All right, I'm just trying to be respectful.
No, you did. You agreed with him that I was an informant. You agreed with Harambe.
When did I say
Harambe that I was an informant? And I'm not an informant. I'm actually one of the only people on here, men on here, who walks around their areas and stuff like that. These other clowns don't do that. They sit in houses and dox people or act like they're fake Marines. These people are clowns. Yeah, I just don't like when people call me a stool pigeon because it's not true. And like I said, if you lived closer to me, I would meet up with you in person and explain to you and show you how I'm not a stool pigeon.
Well, from what I was told, you're not a stool pigeon, and I kind of know the little background of it. So I don't know why you would ever say that I said that. I don't recall.
Because you agreed with them. If somebody was on here and said, "Oh, Mike Slick's a stool pigeon," I say, "Well, can you prove it?" How could you prove it to me? I'm not going to sit up here and go along with somebody calling someone an informant if they're not. Yeah, that was just my whole thing with it. But I'm not going to make. I just made that one stream bashing you because, hey, if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come at you. That's why I tried to give muscle. I told him, run away, and I'll leave you alone. But he still wanted to go on and call me an informant and a terrorist and all this stupid shit. So I had to blast him. But hey, I got no problem with you. If I was you, I would stop apologizing to people.
Yeah, I'm done.
And I would just change your avatar and your whole thing because your family's going to suffer.
I'm not. You probably won't see me on YouTube for a while. I'm gonna take a little break and deal with.
I would because your family don't deserve that because these people are scumbags and they do rotten stuff like that. Nobody's family should be attacked or tortured. Nobody's kids. Nobody's. Look what they did to look at Harambe. That guy's. I don't know how you can apologize to him. Wow. I can't stomach that creep. Looking up people's socials, the whole nine. Mm-hmm. But I get it. You're probably nervous or whatever.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. I'll admit it. I was. But, I had a goal to get some information from him. And I tried to hold back as much as I could. So
information from Harambe?
Yeah, because.
What could you possibly get from him?
Well, because he said on previous lives stuff about my daughter. Right.
Yeah, which is gross. That's
and
disgusting.
He brought up something, that she's involved with, and something happened, with that actually behind the scenes. And I wanted to know if he was responsible for it or anybody that goes on his show. So I wanted to hear some things he had to say because he started bringing it up. So I was just being quiet and playing into.
I'll put it this way: I shouldn't give you this advice because I really don't like you, but I will give you this advice. If I was you, bro, I would just stop going on these shows, stop watching YouTube, because when these people do know they have info on you, they're going to be like, you got to agree with me or I'm going to torture your family. Your family don't deserve that, man. They don't deserve that. Your kids, nobody, your wife, they don't deserve that. And by keep lingering around, people can disagree with me or not. These people are going to do messed up stuff to you, man. Well, I'm a Josie. I want to thank Fabian, Carmine, and I wish you the best, Mike. I really do.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Murray.
All right. Thank you.
Good one, Murray.
All
right. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Nikki Morello said you got a phone call. Can we hear more about that? What about Deadly? What kind of accent did they have? Well, I can answer a little bit of that because I heard a couple of those phone calls, and he sounded like he was from New York, and he sounded like a right twat talking about come and meet me at the track.
I don't even
Get it. Like, you know, okay, so Mike turns up at the track. I mean, there's a million people there. How's he going to find you? Are you going to be wearing a red rose? I mean, what the hell? You know, no, you had about 12, didn't you? 12 phone calls like that. You know, so yeah.
Agnostic, I'll answer your question.
Where's
80% of the stuff he said, I believed. Okay. The biker stuff, I'm not privy to, so I believe that. The also the military stuff, I believed it. But then when he started bringing up that he was in the intelligence and stuff like that, that's when I knew he was full of shit, because we all know if you're in intelligence in the military, you need some sort of training and some sort of, schooling and stuff like that. And I started thinking about, like, what the fuck,
Right.
So, yeah, I questioned it, but, I didn't bring it up. Just like a lot of people didn't question him, not just me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just
yeah. I mean,
we had people, kiss, ride or die Chicago muscle, and then 3 weeks later they're fighting with each other and calling him stolen valor and all this stuff. So those people didn't question him, when they were following him, or being friends with him. I should say following.
Yeah, but I have a question, because, me and Carmine weren't really privy to a lot of it, a lot of the stuff. I mean, it wasn't like we knew what he was going to say before he went on or any of that. I would watch the show, and if it was something I was interested in, I might jump on, or there were times where, I was, he would say, well, I had your back, you don't have mine, so I would come on. But I think what happened when, we weren't really privy to it. So, oh God, it went out of my head what I was just about to say. Can you believe that? As far as, what was I going to say? It was to do with, when he was going to dox people and whatever, I mean, a lot of it, they're saying you typed up a lot of that paperwork. Now that can't be right.
That's not true.
No, and I don't think he types up the paperwork either. Do you?
He said somebody was sending him that info, and it was his secret source. So I don't know who that is, and he never told me who it was. So I have no idea.
Right, and so it was actually court paperwork. So it's not something you sat there and typed all day and then gave him.
Yeah.
So but there was we weren't privy to a lot of it. And I mean, what was he, did in the, well, I'm calling it the war room, but really it was really a group chat, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I mean.
So how did you
I didn't really
set up the shows? Did you have to talk to him in the morning and set it up for that day, or
no, we really didn't talk about shows in the morning. We just talked about bullshit, to be honest with you.
Right.
But yeah, the war room thing, I really didn't. If you noticed, I didn't.
No, you weren't in there too tough either.
I stayed away from that as much as I could.
Yeah.
But I'll answer Angela's question. She gave me a question before.
Yeah. She said.
Yeah, I'm going through legal means right now to take care of that. I don't know where it's going. I still have to go through some stuff right now and find out. I don't know where it's gonna go. But I started it, and wish me luck. I mean, I hope I can find out who's doing this, because I need to find out. Because
are they still harassing her?
No, it was just that one time.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, hopefully, that'll come to an end. There's no telling, though. Karen said she didn't believe he was a biker, but I thought he was working with a cop. I thought he was an annoyed guy on YouTube. No, I thought he was a biker. I think he looked like a biker, and he kind of acted like a biker, and he seemed to know a lot about the biking world. So I thought he was a biker, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't really know much about the biker world, but I believed it. He had a lot of knowledge about it, but there was some other people on here who had just as much knowledge, and they were, when they questioned him about it, of course thoughts go around in your head, like, is this true or whatever. But
yeah,
those little things really didn't matter to me, because at first I thought we were really helping women, and then
Right.
took a giant shit, and
Right.
Deadly and I talked about that behind the scenes about we gotta put an end to that, or talk to
Right.
them about that. I mean, because it was stupid. It started getting stupid.
Right. Right. So the apologies are over. So what do
Yeah,
you have to say,
absolutely.
Carmine? What's your input?
Oh, I tend to agree. Number one, I know the avenues that Mike is trying to pursue, and I
Right.
applaud him for trying to, instead of being violent or hostile, that he's trying to do something with the
Right.
pen rather than the sword. And
Right.
unfortunately, he has to contain a lot of restraint, not to
Comment.
damage
People
whatever
could believe
whatever
whatever they
he's
want.
mentally preparing.
I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Right.
Some of the comments are from people who never did nothing on here. All they do is put words in the chat. You really think that matters to me? Their opinions of me.
Right.
Come on.
No,
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 I don't think
no, I
it's
think
a
it is
question of mattering. It's a question of you're trying to do what's right for your family.
Yes,
You have a
agreed.
plan,
Yeah.
and you're following it, and I think that that's good.
Yep, agreed. It's just
Right.
like you see you see the troll comments. You know what I mean? And you just, I gotta laugh. I gotta laugh.
The problem comes down again, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, as a saying that I said at work, in think tanks, among many people. Monday morning quarterbacking is the worst thing that you could do. It's always easy after the fact to know what I could do. And I'll refer it to myself. I didn't want to cause a ruckus with that maniac because Josie and I were friends, and he's very hostile, and he brings everybody into it if you disagree or you walk away from it. In hindsight, I could sit back as a Monday morning quarterback of myself, and I could say, "You jerk! You should have just told him you didn't want to be involved."
Yeah,
I didn't
I'll be
like him
honest.
before that. I wrote to Angel Gotti many times. I didn't like him. I told Josie I didn't like him,
Right.
and then I did something totally for the sake of what I thought was the better. Was the better. I won't say the better. It was the path that I thought was going to cause the least amount of damage to the people I cared about around me, and it was wrong.
Yeah. Did you record the conversation you had with him, Mike, or no?
No.
No, I mean, the thing is, Mandy, most people, normal people don't record. I mean, it wouldn't even have occurred to me. I don't even know how to record, do you? You know what I mean? So I wouldn't think to, record him anyway. You know what I mean? But maybe any future ones, you might need to work that out, how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
I wasn't gonna come on here, but Josie, you called me up and you were like, people saying all kinds of stuff. I wasn't gonna come on here again.
Right.
I wasn't. But you and I were talking, and you were like, "Look, if you want to do," I'm like, "Okay, I'll come on and finish up what I was saying earlier." But
yeah, because a lot of the other night, I mean, you didn't get really a chance to say anything. It went to hell from there. I mean, I was fuming myself. You know what I thought about that, but and I think at least you've stood in the fire. You've had the balls to come and face everybody, and if anyone has questions, they can ask. And you can answer them if you want to, and that's the way I just felt about it.
Nikki Morello, where you from? You don't got any friends, Mike Slick?
He said what?
Where are you from? You don't have any friends, he's telling me.
Oh, I can't even see that. Yeah, I can't see.
I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm Italian, and I got a lot of friends. Yeah. I grew up on 11th Avenue in Brooklyn. And the reason why I came to this mafia genre is because, I grew up around all that stuff. I was just interested in it, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, they got Carmine, the man of reason. Yeah, that's why he's here.
Carmine's been great. Carmine, you're a good guy, man. You really are. You really are. Carmine's one of a kind. I mean, really.
Could I clear up one thing that I'm seeing in the chat? Just something that people should understand. When the law, I did some research on this. And I heard comments on other shows that only law enforcement has access to these private information, so on and so forth. It's not true. I looked up the information. Once you become a member of the bar or an officer of the court, there are search engines that are out there that these law officers can subscribe to that will give you, I mean, and the list is long. I can't remember every detail. Now, if you have a child in school and there's some kind of financial arrangement, that's going to show up on a credit report. Nobody is stalking. Nobody. People are bullying other people, thinking that they're stalking somebody when they're merely looking up information that they obtained illegally and using that as a form of. And I'm not saying it's not serious, Mike, because anything that has to do with your children and your family is serious. But the culture that Harambe came from in Cuba was taught the intelligence that was taught to their law enforcement was the intelligence of the KGB. You pound people with propaganda, you bully people with facts, and you over exaggerate, and you keep people in control.
Your sound keeps going out. Sounds like you're in a fish tank.
Well, you pound people with that propaganda. You pound people with exaggerated statements. And eventually, if you keep bullying them, you'll keep them in some form of control. And that's simply all that this little man Harambe did the other night, was exaggerate things that had come up in a different light. He has no body, or remember, he's a criminal. He commits another felony. He's in very serious trouble of going back to jail, no matter what it is, for the rest of his life. So I don't think that people should overemphasize that he's ready to stalk people. I mean, you could call it cyber stalking because he's looking up information that he has no business having. But personally, I think it becomes a little over-exaggerated. And I think people should give Mike a little more credit that he knows what he's doing, because I understand what he's up against. I understand what his attempt is in trying to handle this. And as a learned man and as an older man with a lot of life experience, I have to say that he picked up the pen, not the sword, and he chose a wise decision. And in the end, I know for a fact he's going to get some kind of justice without having to be violent, ignorant, or breaking the law.
Well, yeah, thanks, Coleman. But you know how it is on here. If you don't fight with people, or on a live video, and like Piggy and MRE and everybody goes head to head on here, you're a pussy.
And trust me, your daughter is in a much safer place than it could be, because there are many people like me in academia that are higher education officers, and they would stand up for anybody who had a credible college career, which your daughter has, and is doing things that are proper. They're not just going to listen to propaganda and crap that's said on the side. Their public opinion in academia is sorted out, and it's looked at with deductive reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just taken for granted that somebody is a bad person because somebody says something.
Yep.
And I know that for a fact, because I know there's many people that are behind me that would feel strongly if somebody tried to act on what they're saying about your daughter. He's totally out of line, and they would defend her.
Totally. Sly says, by the way, LexisNexis is used by attorneys and staffs, legal communities, and PIs they're taking advantage of and abusing.
Mm-hmm.
Josie, that's 100% right, because that's the search engine. Sly is 100% right.
Yep,
that is offered to people who are officers of the court, and they have to document what information they asked for and the purpose of it.
Yep.
And it's available to them only after they're some kind of officer of the court or member of the bar. But she's 100% right. That's the name of it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's right.
Yeah.
I was never going to law enforcement, first of all. I don't know why people were saying that. For what? There was, if I was, put it this way, if I was home when that happened, I don't know what I would.
You were at Home Depot or somewhere, were you?
I
You
was
were
in
like an hour.
IKEA, about an hour and 20 minutes away. I was with, one of my kids, and
Right.
my wife was home, and with the other one, and they didn't even know,
Right.
And they were gone by the time I.
So does she know now? Did you tell
Yeah,
her?
of course she knows. Yeah.
Did it worry her? Or she's okay?
Yeah, she's a little worried, but like I said, I spoke to them, and all good. It's all good.
Right.
But it's done. It's the past. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that. I think this should draw a line under it now.
It was stupid.
Yeah,
Anybody who goes to anybody's house on here.
Well, Mike, understand
YouTube
too,
beef
it's
is
not
gonna- it was
documented
stupid.
that they did it, whether it was stupid, whether nothing was done. So God forbid something happens, their stupidity puts them in a place that law enforcement and any jurisdiction that has authority is going to look at these guys or any associates of these guys for any actions that wouldn't, if they were ever taken. So they kind of screwed themselves.
Yeah, I know, but look, they walk up right up to the line without going over it. That's the way they look at it, and and that's the way I looked at it. But still, what did they really do?
Right.
In reality, what really was done? You know what I mean? It was just trolling.
In this case, nothing. It would be a no. It would be a no gamer because no crime was technically committed, because you really can't prove intent for the cyber stalking or for the stalking, and nobody was harmed, no property was damaged.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
And Mandy says Harambe got on his show showing his subs how to use the website to find information. He will go to any lengths, legal or not, to get information he wants. So it's not like he doesn't use Tina's job. And, that's correct. I mean, I have a screenshot of him holding up a packet from her job. I just draw the line at the Social Security thing. The rest of it I couldn't care less about. I'm just concerned that they will use my stuff for illegal purposes, and
you have every right to do that. He's suspected of all types of white collar crime when it comes to stealing money from the COVID loans. To he's done other things that manipulated money from people. So knowing that someone like that had access to your Social Security number could be a serious thing. You could wind up in a lot of trouble.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and then this morning I saw that I thought Tony Pizza was saying Johnny Mac had flipped, but I guess not. Again, they put up his family and whatever. Here we go again.
Well, that's just wrong. But with Tony Pizza, you really have to take the crap that he's saying with a grain of salt. He's not talking to the Attorney General. Governor DeSantis is not going to intervene for him. None of this. There's no secret task force.
Mark Rubio, right?
Mark Rubio is going to pick up to do this. And people have to think just with a little common sense. These men are politicians. They're not going to put their neck out on something that Tony Pizza alleges, or they're not going to start a witch hunt. So the way that he's approaching this is only good for Tony Pizza, because he's trying to get himself a couple of bucks out of the deal. He doesn't give a shit about all the things he's saying about children, women, because he's crossed all those lines when it was suitable for him. People have to remember that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was just like, because I thought, they would leave Tabitha alone, really, because she is innocent. She's not on here. She goes to work. She comes home.
That's not what they do.
And then here you go again. She's up there again. And she doesn't deserve that at all. She hasn't done anything whatsoever. Like a lot of the women on here haven't. I'm not saying I haven't, but I originally didn't even mention him. He just started off calling me a piece of shit in defense of Piggy. You know what I mean? So that's how that started. And at first I ignored him for the longest time, but then, it comes to a point where you do have to defend yourself, you know, and that's just what it is. But anyway, well, anything else, Mike? I think just draw a line under it now. Take a break, maybe. You always
Yeah,
welcome.
you probably
over
won't
here.
see me on here. I mean, I got other things I got to take care of right now.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch with
You
people.
know,
Say
there's a lot of
hello.
people on here I connected with that I really care about. You guys have been great, and
Yeah.
I'll definitely keep in touch with you guys. That's for sure.
Yeah, say hi once in a while, don't hurt. And we all live and learn, don't we?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So has Chicago Muscle tried to reach out to you at all, or nothing?
No, not since the morning he got doxxed, when he actually reached out to me and asked me to reach out to you to kind of reach out to who to kind of say,
Yes.
hey, I'm not going at you. I'm focusing elsewhere. And
Okay, yeah.
I
Did
think
you
the
know
video-
though? Did
Excuse
you know
me?
the reason?
Well, he did get a message, and it turned out the MRE said it was him saying
Okay.
his real name.
Okay.
And that freaked him the fuck out. And I think
Okay.
when he came back that late morning or something, oh no, was it late? It was the afternoon actually.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, he told me about the message after I had reached out, because I didn't know why he told me to say that, but I found out afterwards, and it was the message that he received calling him by his real name. And he told me what his real name was, Harry, finally.
Right.
And he said, nice to meet you. And I laughed. I'm like, I've known this guy this long. He's supposed to be my friend. I never even knew his name. And I'm like saying to myself, oh God,
Right.
That's when it started to be like, okay,
But he admitted it was him, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's definitely him. Yeah, you guys definitely know the guy. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Right.
Harry Wessel.
Oh, no, right. It was too much of a coincidence. Those Jehovah's Witness people, they look like decent people. They didn't look like the people
I mean, that was one of the things that really bothered me, was finding that out. And I was involved with someone who did shit like that too. I mean,
what did he do exactly? He stole money from them or something?
Yeah, selling snakes or something to him and kept the money.
He said that his wife had cancer. I remember them saying they gave him money.
Right. That's true.
And it was a lot of money from what I understood.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. All righty then. Well, we can wrap this up. Hopefully the apology tour is over, and draw a line under it.
It wasn't much of a tour.
No.
But I think I made it pretty clear that my YouTube career is coming to a fucking halt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you'll be back on here. Carmine, put the picture up.
Yeah. And they pop up. But like I said, I don't. What people say about me, I really don't. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
I know who I am. I know what I am. I don't need anybody to tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? So.
Right. Yeah. So I'm putting Carmine's cash up along the bottom. He didn't ask me to. Sorry, Carmine, but every little helps him. He's on little money, and at the end, by the time he pays all his bills, he doesn't have a lot left. So and he's not well. So any help you can give him is great. He's not begging. He's not trying to do none of that. So
I'm not Tony Pizza.
No,
I would do myself in before I ever looked in the mirror and saw that. Disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I saw that he'd gotten the money for an apartment now. So is he getting an apartment or what?
Well, he says he has to find the right situation because people are going to take his money. He's crazy. He has $2,000, and if he signs a lease with someone, it's a legal contract. So his whole spiel there that they can just throw you out,
right,
is ridiculous, because you can't just do that if you have a lease. That's your residence then.
Yeah. I mean, you sign all that first. So I think, but maybe it's different in Florida. I don't know. But Karen says, Mike Slick, you don't have a criminal record with sexual offences. The others are worse, and you apologize. So you've done your apologies. That's enough already.
Yep.
We live, we learn. I think everybody made a mistake with muscle at some point or another. Some people didn't. Some knew straight off the bat. You know,
And it still could have been handled. I'll talk about myself. I think about this. Believe me, I have a lot of time to think. And I
right,
think about this. I just sit back and say, no, I could have handled that different. There was an opportunity there to get
right,
away from this. But
right,
that's hindsight. At the time, I didn't see it. So
right,
shame on me.
right, right. Actually, Mandy, you know, that's a good. I had said that a long time ago. I didn't know why he didn't go to one of those apartments where you pay weekly, because it's like 200 a week. He can easily make that on here, can't he? You know what I mean? I would have thought he would have maybe done that because everything's already in there. You got the
No, I
bed.
agree with you, Josie. How about he tries something different, a word that he seems to be allergic to? Why doesn't he go work? There's nothing wrong with him that he couldn't do some kind of a
Yeah,
job.
but you know, right, and so you know,
And I'm sure he'll call me a woke
often said he
Dovato
was, that's what he wanted to do.
saying that about him, but I don't care.
Right.
Thanks,
Slick,
XXX.
you
Appreciate
said
it.
hope for the best. You also, it just takes time.
Yeah. Thank you.
And,
Appreciate it, bro.
You know, and Down Neck said, you know, he beat himself up over it. And
Yeah, I know. Down Neck,
you know,
he's a good guy.
yeah, so you know, I mean,
Thanks, Down Neck.
you know, we all at some point or another did embrace him, and this is how it turned out. So lesson learned. Lesson learned. Anyway,
Josie?
so okay, Mike, I wish you the best. Stay in touch.
Will do.
Yes, Carmen.
I just like to say, if JA is still in the chat, that thank you for the bottom of my heart for what you did. If I had an email or I had some way to write to you, I believe in writing to everybody personally. But thank you so much. What you sent me does go towards nutrition to help me not be as sick as I am, and I really, really appreciate that with all my heart.
Okay, so
and I wanted to say that.
Karen S just sent you $49.99.
God bless you, Karen, and I appreciate that more than you know. Thank you.
It came as a super chat, so it doesn't come right away, but I'll send it to you.
That's right. A blessing is a blessing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate that for Carmine, because he does need a little bit of help. But anyway, everybody, thank you, Karen, once again. That's really kind of you. And good luck, Mike. I hope everything kind of calms down and, you get to do, what you've set out to do, and I hope they leave your daughter alone now, We can only hope for that. And Carmine, I'll talk to you tomorrow, probably.
No worries, Mike. You're a fine man, and I'm blessed to have met you, and I'm blessed that outside of YouTube that we've become friends. I have the passion and the desire before my time is up to come to the East Coast and to shake your hand and to have dinner with you and your family personally. That's one of the most important things to me, to come and spend some time with Josie, to meet you, and to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carmine. You have a place here. You could stay here and hang out with me anytime, man. You're welcome. Thank you.
Because you're honestly a good man.
Thank you.
Okay. Real Deal wants you to call him, Carmine.
No problem, Tommy. I'll give you a call.
All right, then, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Mike, for doing this. I think,
Thanks, Josie, for having me on.
Hopefully we can draw a line under it now. And
can I close with a quote?
What did you say?
Josie, can I close with a quote?
Yes, please. Oh, yes. We've gotten used to that. Go ahead.
I prepared something. This is by Robert Louis Stevenson. Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Treasure Island, the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story. He was a very, very proficient writer. And quoting him, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap. Judge by the seeds that you plant.
Yes, that's true. That's
Which
true.
I think was appropriate here because we're at a point now where all of the chickens have come to roost. It's a new beginning. Let's try to be good to each other. Let's try to be with each other and not tolerate ignorance and violence.
Yeah.
I'll leave it with that.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Carmine. Thanks, Mike. And thank you, chat. Thank you, Karen, again. And we'll see you all later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.